Hi, this is Thomas with Believe in the Run.
This is Robbie with Believe in the Run.
And Robbie, we're going back in history now to talk about a shoe we like. But before we get to that, what should people do?
Make sure you subscribe to this channel and like this video, and please leave a comment if you have any.
And the reason we want you to do that is it really helps us with our ego. Like, we check our phones a lot. We look to see if people liked, subscribed, and all that stuff.
Yeah, I have an addiction.
Anyway, so let's get in. We're talking about the Nike
React
Infinity
3.
All right, before we get into the shoe though, Robbie, you had a favorite React shoe that you pretty much did everything in.
I mean, the people know. This is the Epic React 1, possibly the best running shoe ever, at least in my experience. I ran a marathon in this shoe. I put in so many miles on this. I loved it. Loved the 2 as well. And then they killed it off. Still the best knit upper ever made, in my opinion.
Yeah. So that's kind of the predecessor to this Infinity React, which they took that foam that never dies, put it in a shoe that they said, we're gonna solve runners' problems.
Yeah, and basically everything I loved about this, they threw it out the window. So thanks, Nike.
We don't even have an open window here. He just threw that. That's like right next to him right now.
Yeah,
but
it's out there.
It's close enough. So this shoe came out, and what they said was, we want to solve the problem that keeps most runners from running, which is
injury.
They did all these tests to figure out how they could reduce injury. One of them was putting a rocker sole on the bottom of the shoe, cushioning on the shoe. This is the new style of stability. What do they do to get stability in here, Robbie?
They put a little heel clip on here, and it's a throwback to some other Nike shoes in the past, but has some nods to some designs in past Nike running. And then they also put in like a little medial arch bump, if you will, to give you some support when landing.
All those things were supposed to help you stay injury-free and enjoy your running days. And I have to say, I do like this shoe. I didn't have the fondness for the simplicity of the original that you just tossed out.
Yeah.
But I mean, we liked running in this shoe.
Anyways,
right, before we leave the past completely, let's talk about a little bit of what the update was to the second one.
Yeah, so the second one had some upper updates. The midsole, outsole, heel clip was pretty much exactly the same. And the upper, obviously a different design, a little bit more structure, a lot more structure around the heel collar area. Also they had this tongue that was stretchy and also a liability for some people because apparently it tore a lot.
To me, this was mostly they're trying to address some of the issues with the heel counter. It gained some weight a little bit, which not a ton.
It was just like a tiny bit.
But you know, this is maybe a good segue for us to go into the 3.
Yeah, so let's do it. In
looking at this, I mean, this is the 1, this is the 2, this is the 3.
All right, so here we are. Everything's the same, but everything isn't. Yeah, the design is a lot different than the last one. I mean, you have some vertical stitching, I guess, in the forefoot that it didn't really have before. It seems thicker to me. Is that accurate to say?
I would say it's thicker. You know, for me, Nike does knit uppers better than anybody. Knit uppers aren't my favorite. I tend to like the mono meshes and the engineered mesh a little better than knit, but on the Nike ones I seem to be okay.
Yeah, I mean, if you do knit wrong, it's really wrong. But if you do it right,
I won't mention any names, but I
see the shoe.
Yeah, I know, it's on too. It has a nice feel, stretchiness through the toe box. The heel counter, I didn't have any lifting in. Now, Robbie, you didn't find it as delightful as I did.
Yeah, I don't know. I just felt like I couldn't get a great lockdown over top of the foot. I kept retightening the laces and adjusting them on the run until it was almost too tight where it was cutting off circulation. So maybe I needed to loosen a little bit, but I just couldn't find that sweet spot. The nice thing about this that I think I had a problem with in the first version, especially, was that the heel area was like nice and locked in there. It comes up a little bit more than the last version, so there's a little bit more support there. The tongue is a lot thicker.
It is.
For sure.
The tongue, it seems like they fixed the stitching problem by just like really going after it with some extra reinforcement. That was probably the one area I'm like, I don't know if I dig this tongue that much, but it's a one-piece upper, stitched upper, and this tongue is just kind of sewn on to that.
Yeah, it comes basically like halfway up here is where the tongue starts, I guess. Overall, yeah, not a huge fan of it, but it's gonna be warm in the summertime for sure.
Yeah, but for me, I'll still give this a passing grade. Robbie's gonna give it maybe a C.
Yeah,
I'd
say that's accurate.
It's not still a passing grade.
It's not the worst, but it's just I would have liked a better feel for it. Yeah. Anyways,
getting down to the midsole, one of the complaints that a lot of people have is the arch bump in this shoe irritated a lot of people. Mm-hmm. I feel like it could be in my head, but I feel like the arch was brought down a little bit and isn't as obtrusive.
I think especially in the first version, it was really obvious and drove people crazy, myself included. I mean, you got used to it, but at the same time, I feel like this is a little bit less noticeable.
It was one of those things when you were running, it maybe didn't bother you as much as when you're standing around and walking.
Mm-hmm. I did think the ride of the shoe was nice, similar to, the React Infinity of the past. I feel like, the rocker geometry gives you a pretty decent roll through. Nothing extreme, but a nice transition. And definitely enough comfort for racking up
any amount of miles. Yeah.
So I did feel, that was the one thing that I really liked about this shoe, was that as a midfoot striker, when you land, you do get a nice amount of cushion, which sometimes is sacrificed in the heels. It really helps the heel strikers a lot.
I found this rolled really nicely. And then you get down to this outsole, Robbie.
Yeah, the outsole has a lot of rubber coverage. It's again, same as the last two versions. Pretty durable. It's gonna last, again, a long time. You might see some wear on the outer edges, but overall you're gonna be fine.
For my first run in these, I was on brick, I was on wood decking, I was on asphalt. It was raining quite a bit.
Yeah, it was pouring.
And I felt really secure with this shoe, so I don't know what the difference.
Yeah, it is weird because they do a pretty good job with this, and trail is just a whole different story, but there is something we need to talk about.
It's kind of makes me sad.
It makes me sad for you because I feel like it might change your perception of the shoe just mentally.
Normally when I run in a shoe, if it looks great, that helps. If it feels great during the run, that helps. Part of feeling good is it being lightweight on my feet. In this particular one, I had a crummy first run in. I wasn't feeling well, breathing wasn't right, but I still liked the way the shoe rode. I liked the feel of it. I was still pumped on it. And I don't even really love this upper. I've seen it in a white upper that looks really nice. Mm-hmm. But so I was like, I must really love this shoe if I still feel good about it after a run like that.
And you did text me that you love this shoe.
I did.
So what we're talking about is the increase in weight from last year's version.
Messes with my head.
Because it's mostly like the same shoe, like the midsole, outsole, everything's the same. Upper, of course, is a little bit different, but it's gained an ounce.
And I intentionally don't weigh shoes before I run in them nowadays because I do feel like it influences. Like if I know the shoe is heavy and I start feeling sluggish on the run, I'm like, this shoe sucks. I
will say on my first run, even for maybe all my runs, I thought it was a little bit heavier, but I was like, I'm just...
Imagination.
Yeah, I'm running in the morning and my legs are dead, whatever. It's just like, it is what it is.
All right, so we went back and weighed the original.
10.7 ounces, 303 grams.
10.7 ounces, 30 what grams?
303.
303 grams. So then the second pair came in a little bit of a weight gain.
10.9 ounces,
10.9.
310 grams.
But they added a heel collar. Yeah. There was some nice updates. Finally, this guy, size 10.5, 331 grams, or 11.7 grams.
Ounces.
Yeah, that 11 grams would be like nothing. I can juggle.
That's the Nike Mayfly.
Yeah. I don't get it. Where is it coming from?
I mean, it has to be pretty much the upper. Everything else is the same. So I don't know. It's a lot more. There is more to the upper for sure, but I can't believe that.
I just don't get it because like the whole thing, I felt like with the new foams and all the stuff, we've only been seeing shoes get lighter. Why are we going this direction? Everything was getting lighter. I just don't get it.
Maybe they thought that just because it slip one under your nose without you noticing. Is
well,
that the phrase, slip one under your nose?
I don't know. Slip one by you? I don't know. But like that's the thing, like...
I think that's when you chloroform someone.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Sometimes I let what Robbie says just float right by, but chloroforming. Let me tell you kids, Don't mess
I
around.
was
with
watching
chloroform.
we were both watching the John Wayne Gacy doc, and I was
Not together.
no, okay, we weren't planning.
Have you been watching
We
that?
weren't planning anything. I did watch all of it.
What'd you think?
Yeah,
I haven't gotten all the way through it, but yeah, it's nuts.
Wow. I don't know how I feel about this original colorway. It looks like a Mountain Dew, like cherry Mountain Dew campaign to me.
Yeah,
but-
I call it psychedelic ladybug.
Okay, we can go with that too.
So Robbie, there's 2 colors on this shoe. There's a green, there's a red. I don't see any yellow. What's the shoe gonna get?
This is for me. It's a yellow.
I'm going green, and here's why.
Okay.
Everything about this shoe would typically put it in the yellow to red for me. It's a little on the heavy side. I had bad runs in it. I had good runs in it. Overall, I still like the shoe, and I still think it feels great underfoot, and I love the way it goes through my stride phase. So for me, I'm still giving this a green. The shoe will not die. You can wear this shoe for many, many miles. So at the $160 price point, you're getting your money's worth. You're gonna be able to wear it forever.
By the way, 160 price point, not confirmed. It may be 170 or more.
Well, we don't know.
But everything's gone up this year.
Yeah, last
so.
year it was 160. We'll see where this one comes in. Robbie, what did we say the drop was?
The drop is, I mean, I'm assuming it's unchanged. So it was 9 millimeters, 34.26 last year. So
Yeah, it didn't change.
yeah, I think that's it. Just for all our other reviews, Nike, all the other brands, or if you want to go back and watch the old reviews of the React Infinity, yeah, check out our channel. Make sure you subscribe to us. Again, like this video, and follow us in our Strava Club, Instagram, listen to the Drop Podcast and Fuel for the Soul Podcast. All those are in the description.
Yeah, he covered it all.
All right.
So that's it for us today. And then I just gotta whammy out. I mean, is it Deja Vu?
Is Deja Vu like 3 times or just 2 times?
I think it's French.
The dad joke, keep rolling. Deja thrice.
I feel like we said this before.
Have we?
No, it's Deja Vu.
Damn it. Get me out of here. Get me out of this this Deja Vu.
This loop.
Anyways.
It's like a black cat just walked across the floor.
Yeah, I'm about to walk under a ladder just to end it.